Okay, I'm continuing on with the healthcare vocabulary pronunciation, and I left off at S, so I'm going to continue. Scrubs. Scrubs. That final S is pronounced with a Z. Scrubs. Scrubs. Make sure you get a B and not a V. Scrubs. Scrub up. That's pretty straightforward. Scrub up. Second opinion. Second opinion. Second. Sometimes you will hear the final D in second pronounced with a T, depending on where you are in the country. But second opinion or second opinion. I came in second. Take the second door on your left. Seizure. Seizure. EI is pronounced E in this case. And the Z is like a ZH, zh sound. The URE is seizure, seizure, as if it was spelled ER instead of URE. Seizure. Shock, shock. SHOCK, pretty straightforward. CK is just one sound, k, shock. Side effects, side effects. Side, long I sound, effects, effects. The T in the middle of that CS sound is so very slight that it's not very noticeable. Effects, if it's there at all. Do you have any side effects from that medicine? Sore, sore. Make sure you get the good or, sore. You don't want to pronounce it so or so. You've got to get the good on the end. Sore. Spasm. Spasm. That SM is kind of like a ZM. Spasm. Spasm. And your lips just barely touch on the end for that M. Spasm. Specialist. Specialist. The CIA in the middle, the sounds, the letters CIA, are pronounced as an SH. Sha, sha, like an SHA, sha. Specialist, specialist. Have you seen a specialist about that? Specialist. Sprain. AIN is pronounced with a long A in. Sprain, ain, sprain, sprain. How severe is your sprain? Stable, stable. That LE on the end is just an and tongue moves up for L. Stable, stable condition, stable condition. TION is pronounced with an SH. Shun, shun, almost like an SHUN. Condition, condition. Is he in stable condition? Sting, sting. ING is pronounced with kind of a nasal sound in the back of the throat. Ing, ing. That G is not normally pronounced. In some regions of the United States, that G might be pronounced, but it's not typically standard. Sting or ring, sing. Normally, we just do that nasal kind of sound in the back. Ing, ing, ing. Sting, ring, wing. Sing. So sting, ING is ing. Stress, stress. And then stressed, stressed. Often the final D in words like that will be pronounced with more of a T, stressed. I'm feeling really stressed, as opposed to stressed. I'm feeling really stressed. And that's because the S that precedes it is an unvoiced consonant, S versus Z. Z is voiced, S is unvoiced. So stressed would be hard, but stressed is not. So when you have that ED ending, which is the past tense ending in a lot of verbs, or in this case, it's an ending for this adjective, the final D will take on the voicing characteristics of the consonant, the sound right before it. So in this case, there's an SD ending That E is silent, so stressed. But because the S is an unvoiced sound, then we typically make that D, we turn it into a T, which is unvoiced. Stressed, stressed. It's just easier. If the word ended in Z, like jazz, and you wanted to turn it into jazzed, like jazzed up or something, jazz, definitely it would be a D because Z is voiced and so is D, so it's easy to say it all together. Jazzed, but stressed, even though the proper spelling is ED, because S is unvoiced, we now will typically pronounce that final D as a T, stressed. Okay, so swelling, swelling. Another ing on the end, swelling. Without pronouncing the G, it's just ing, ing. Swollen, swollen. Swollen, swollen, with the accent on the first syllable. And that final en is typically pronounced, it could be in or n, don't pronounce it in. Swollen, no. Swollen or swollen, those are close enough that they will both be acceptable. But don't do swollen. Symptoms, symptoms. SYM is like an S short IM, symptoms, symptoms. And it can be kind of an or an I there at the end, symptoms, symptoms. Not symptoms, symptoms. Symptoms would sound funny, even though you would think by the spelling it might be a short O sound, tom, but it's not. We don't pronounce it that way. It's symptoms, more like it's an E or an I. Symptoms, symptoms.